Welcome to the deep dive. We take a bunch of sources, dig through them, and pull out the most fascinating bits for you. Today, we're pointing our compass towards Osaka, specifically a place called Asahi-ku. Now, maybe you think of it as, just a quiet residential zone, but our deep dive today is going to show you it's absolutely packed with history and some really surprising hidden gems you can actually find.
Exactly. Our plan is basically to peel back those layers. We're talking stories from ancient times right up to now. And it's not just dates and facts. We want to give you those aha moments, connect you with the feel of the place.
Yeah, and the sources we've got are pretty rich. Historical records, yeah, but also old maps, local legends, some really moving personal stories too. We'll dig into the most interesting historical bits of Asahi-ku and definitely point out some unique spots you could visit today. So let's get started. All right, let's begin way back. Ancient Asahi-ku, you're talking the Yayoi period. That's what, roughly 300 BC to 300 AD? Way back when settlements were just popping up in Japan. And you can actually see proof of this. There are artifacts from the Morishōji ruins. They're displayed in the Asahi-ku Community Center. They have a local history room there.
Yeah, and what's really striking, even from those early times, is how Asahi-ku was already becoming this major transport hub. Picture it. You've got the huge Yodo River, these connecting canals, they call it Iro, plus these vital land routes like the Kyōkaidō, the main road to Kyoto, and the Nozaki Taido heading towards Nozaki Canyon. And what's really cool is the Senbayashi Shotengai, the big covered shopping street. It's still right there at that ancient intersection.
Wow, a modern shopping street on top of ancient crossroads. That's amazing. And then moving forward a bit, 7th century, there's this legend about Prince Shotoku visiting. They say that's where the name Taishibashi comes from, Prince's Bridge.
Then jump way ahead to the Sengoku period, Japan's big Civil War era. That's when we get Miyoshi Nagiyoshi and his famous Takaya Castle. It was in southern Asahi-ku, used around 1532 to 1555. And this wasn't just any castle. Sources call it a floating castle. It used the Yodo River's water network in this really clever way.
A floating castle? How did that work?
Well, it was designed as a kind of water castle illusion array. Think hidden sluice gates, underwater traps like iron caltrops, all meant to confuse and stop enemies.
That sounds incredibly clever, like something out of a movie, a real water maze.
Yeah.
But the story for Nagiyoshi himself, it wasn't great, was it? His son died tragically.
Yeah, it seems he was really haunted by that. The legend says his son's ghost appeared as a white egret, just circling the castle for days. Really sad image. But you can actually go there today. There's a Takaya Castle Ruins Park. You can see bits of the old stone walls, parts of the moat. It connects you right back to that mix of military smarts and personal tragedy.
Okay, let's shift to the Edo period. That Kyōkaidō road we mentioned, it really became a big deal then, used by the daimyo, the feudal lords, for their big processions to Kyoto. And there's this specific little detail from Morishōji, the Mokusei no Jinya Ato, Osmanthus camp ruins.
Ah, yes. The story goes that the 14th shogun, Tokugawa Iemochi, actually stayed there. Apparently, he was drawn by the amazing smell of these 3 osmanthus trees. Imagine that, being famous for your fragrant trees.
Ah, yeah. And for something a bit more quirky, there's the Asahi Jizo-san, a local statue. It's got this chipped nose. And the local story, kind of funny, is that boat poles kept hitting it over the years, navigating the old waterways.
Right. It just adds so much character. It shows how everyday life gets woven into these historical spots.
Definitely. And speaking of local life, Senbayashi was really taking off as a merchant town in the Edo period. And there's this fantastic legend connected to that merchant spirit, the Senbayashi night cat, and its shrine, the Nekogami shrine, the cat god shrine.
Oh, this is a great one. So this merchant, Sakichi, kept having fires ruin his business. Terrible luck. Then he has this dream. A black cat appears and gives him very specific advice on how to stop the fires.
And it worked.
Apparently so. And the shrine statue itself is fascinating. The cat's eyes, they're inlaid with something called golden-eyed rukyu. It's this rare 17th century Venetian glass imported via Nagasaki.
No way, Venetian glass.
Yeah. And inside the statue, they found 185 copper plates, prayer copper plates from local merchants. They had wishes inscribed on them like, hope the fire god goes away, or even hope my creditors forget I owe them money. It's such a direct window into their worries. And they still celebrate it today with the Senbayashi Cat Festival. It's a living legend.
That's incredible. Such a unique piece of history. And Senbayashi being a crossroads. That goes back even further, right? There's that story about Minamoto no Yoshitsune.
Ah, Yes, the great warrior's escape during the Kamakura period, a real thriller. He supposedly fled along a route called the Namazu-Kaido, which passed right through the Senbayashi area.
And didn't he get help at a tea house?
He did. The Yononaki Chaya, the night-crying tea house, an old woman there showed him a hidden path to escape his pursuers. And today, just behind Senbayashi Shrine, there's a path called Gaiso no Michi, Armored Sleeve Path. The legend, and this is just amazing if true, is that you can still find horseshoe fragments from the Kamakura period embedded in the stones.
Seriously, embedded in the path.
That's the story. A tangible link, potentially, right back to Yoshitsune's desperate flight. Imagine walking on that.
Wow. Okay, let's jump forward again. Modern times. The Keihan Electric Railway shows up in 1910. That really kickstarts development around stations like Morishoji near where Senbayashi is today. But the Meiji era before that brought the big industrial boom. Asahi became part of the Kansai Manchester idea. The Osaka Boseki factory opened in 1907.
Right. And while that meant growth, it also meant, well, a really harsh reality for the workers. Thousands of young women worked in textiles. We're talking brutal 14-hour days. It led to conditions like spinning girls' cracked palms, just awful. And then there was the Red Dust Riot in 1919, a huge cotton dust explosion. Over 100 people died.
That sounds horrific.
It was. There's an industrial monument today. It had these twisted iron pipes from the factory, and they show there was like 10 centimeters thick of cotton dust inside. You can even see fragments of hair and nails embedded in it. Yeah, it's incredibly grim, but it's such a powerful reminder of the human costs behind that industrial progress.
A really stark image. And the area suffered again later, didn't it, during World War II?
Devastatingly so. The 1945 Osaka Great Air Raids hit Asahi hard. There are memorials that really bring it home. The Senninzuka 1,000-people mound in Jōhoku Park. Over 1,000 victims buried together there. And near the Shotengai, the Enmei Jizo-sun marks where a single one-ton bomb killed many people.
Just unimaginable loss.
Absolutely. But again, you see this incredible resilience. The Senbayashi Shotengai bounced back incredibly fast, became a hub for shopping, entertainment. It even had 8 cinemas at one point. And out of that chaos comes the story of the Shinmori Yamaichi, the black market.
Ah, the black market with the tiger of Shinmori.
That's the one, Yamaguchi Horikichi. He was a former kamikaze pilot survivor, and he set up this black market, but with really strict rules. To show his commitment, he famously cut off his own pinky finger.
Whoa, that's dedication.
Intense, right? And the market itself was pure post-war ingenuity, built from wrecked tanks, supposedly. They brewed sake in shell casings. Harakichi used an old Navy dagger. And there's even a Jizo statue for him, the Banjime Jizo, severed finger Jizo near Shinmori Shrine. People leave offerings of sake and mackerel sushi, his favorites. It just captures that raw, make-do, survivalist spirit of the immediate post-war era perfectly.
Amazing stories. But Asahi isn't just about the big historical dramas, right? There are other layers.
Definitely. You can still find pockets of the past in everyday places, like the Senbayashi no Nagaya. These are traditional tenement-style row houses from 1937. They're protected now as part of the urban landscape, giving you a feel for Sho-era working life.
Nice. And what about green spaces?
Well, there's the Kyoto Iris Garden in Kyoto Park, really beautiful, especially when the irises bloom, and the Wando with these backwater pools along the Kyoto River. They're actually remnants of flood control work done by a Dutch engineer, Johan de Rijk, way back. And they still support a lot of aquatic life, which is pretty cool. Oh, and parts of Shinmori still feel quite upscale. Kind of a holdover from when it was developed as a nice residential area before the war.
And you mentioned some quirky spots, too.
Yeah, like there's a municipal indoor pool in Takadono, but it has hot springs, and it's surprisingly pricey for a public pool. And the Akagawa Iron Bridge used to be a railway bridge people just started using as a footbridge. Became a really important local shortcut. Not there anymore, sadly, but people still talk about it. And randomly, it's a rugby hotspot. Joshigakunin High School, Yodogawa Technical High School. Both national rugby powerhouses are based there.
Rugby. Who knew? And didn't you say something about the borders being weird?
Oh, yeah, that's fascinating. The border with Moriguchi City is incredibly tangled. You can have schools, even single houses where part is in Osaka City and part is in Moriguchi City. Imagine figuring out your taxes. It just adds another layer to the local identity. So yeah, Asahi might look quiet on the surface, but once you start digging, ancient roots, castles, cat gods, war, resilience, quirky borders. It's got this incredibly rich, unexpected story.
It really does. So we've gone from Yayoi settlements and floating castles through cat legends and industrial struggles, right up to black markets and weird city limits. Asahi is just full of these hidden stories and places where you can still feel the history.
And that's the main takeaway, isn't it? That almost any neighborhood, even one that seems totally ordinary, has these layers, these untold stories, surprising little facts, these unique hidden gems.
Exactly. You just need to know where to look, or maybe how to look. So maybe think about that next time you're walking around your own area. What stories are hidden just under the surface, waiting for you to uncover? What history is right there in your own neighborhood?